Fear is an emotion which one feels when one experiences or passes through a dangerous situation or through a situation of perceived threat. It is also considered as a mechanism of the body to protect itself from a dangerous situation or for escaping from the dangerous situation, commonly known as the fight or flight response of the body. However, when exposed to extremely treacherous situations, our body may experience a freezing or paralyzing effect. The fight and flight mechanism of the body was earlier seen as a method of the body to protect it from dangers of the environment. Albeit in today's time, the emotional vulnerability has become so widespread that most of the fears that the humans experience is because of emotions rather than physical dangers, but the body is not able to differentiate between the two.
The global elite rely on a number of organizations to push their agenda. Many of us know about the work of the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, the Bilderberg Group, and a handful of others. The Tavistock Institute for Human Relations is included and instrumental in this collection of subversive organizations. However, we rarely, if ever, hear about its role in mass brainwashing and shaping of public opinion. The elite are active on several fronts to reduce world population and basically turn the planet into a lockdown, high-tech prison where a demoralized and reduced population is completely under the iron-fisted rule of a world government. This long-term agenda would not be possible without first conditioning and brainwashing populations into accepting and even celebrating their loss of freedom and servitude. In 1957, Dr. William Sargent of the Tavistock Institute, who reportedly worked in tandem with the CIA on its MK-Ultra brainwashing experiments at the time, wrote a book with an improbable title, Battle for the Mind, A Physiology of Conversion and Brainwashing, How Evangelists, Psychiatrists, Politicians, and Medicine Men Can Change Your Beliefs and Behavior. Sargent explains how alien beliefs can be implanted in the human brain through induced fear, anger, and excitement. He writes that of the results caused by such disturbances, the most common is temporarily impaired judgment and heightened suggestibility. This results in what psychologists call herd instinct, and it is most prevalent during war, epidemics, and all similar periods of common danger, which increase anxiety and opens up the individual to mass suggestibility. Jim Keith, the author of Mass Control: Engineering Human Consciousness, describes Tavistock as a collaborative effort of British military intelligence and the psychiatric establishment. Keith writes that Tavistock's influence reaches the mass corporate media, corporations, governments, and the psychiatric establishment. Coleman has said the moral, spiritual, racial, economic, cultural, and intellectual bankruptcy we are now in the midst of today is the product of a carefully planned Tavistock program. In 1928, Bernays wrote in his book Propaganda that the conscious and intelligent manipulation of the organized habits and opinions of the masses is an important element in democratic society. Those who manipulate this unseen mechanism of society constitute an invisible government, which is the true ruling power of the country. This legacy of lies and manipulation in the name of war and a totalitarian world government is alive and well today. Every day we are slammed with fake news guiding us along a prearranged path toward our ultimate enslavement and the prospect of never-ending war and conflict.
So in case you weren't sure that you should be not listening to your mainstream news media in any form, and if you should be skeptical of this Russia scare, the big red scare, if you should be skeptical of the propaganda being spewed 24/7 about Russia, 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 and everybody's saying, well, we have certainty, our 17 intelligence agencies. One of those is the Coast Guard, by the way. Which we know are liars. And here's a great example. This is the church hearings. This was from 1970 something.
Let me see here.
I'll get that date for you.
40 years ago.
Yeah. So 1976, 77, the church hearings. What was it about, Steph?
They called the CIA Director William Colby to testify on revelations that U.S. intelligence agencies had engaged in controversial covert actions against foreign leaders and U.S. citizens.
So read that again. What was it about?
It's about intelligence agencies had engaged in controversial covert actions against foreign leaders and U.S. citizens.